Welcome to Lesson 2, Topic 4, working with the light, temperature, and sound components, which return a range of values. We'll practice using the serial print line, in the serial monitor to investigate those values. So let's get to it. So here's our basic code template, which just as review, we bring in the library, we have to start the circuit playground, and now we're ready to write some code. So hopefully you've gotten used to the idea that anytime you're going to interact with the circuit playground, the first thing we need to write is circuit playground. And then from here, we have to get one of the functions that's going to let us interact with the circuit playground. So let's go back to the website, and we're going to practice the light sensor first. So let's click on light sensor just to investigate what the function looks like. It doesn't take any parameters, and it's going to return to us a value between 0 and 1023. That's supposed to be the light intensity of the room or the environment that you're in. So let's try it. Okay. So this is the basic command. But again, as we've said before, this is an input command. So we're not going to get any visual feedback of the light sensor. This is meant to give the circuit playground, our program, some information. So in order to investigate this, we're going to have to use the serial monitor along with the serial print line to actually print the value of the light sensor. So let's give it a try. So here we are, it's compiling, checking for errors, it's uploading. Okay, so I can pull the camera up and we'll see we're not going to get anything visual. It's an input component. But what we can do is pull up the serial monitor to see what the light levels are in my room. Okay, so I have a very dark room. So I had to bring a little prop. I'm bringing in an LED flashlight. I'm going to show you right here because I'm going to shine it from a distance. And you should see that the light level increases. There you go. So you can see here, I'm going to move the flashlight further away. Number gets smaller. I'm going to bring the flashlight closer. And the numbers get higher. Let's see if we get that 1023 happening. That's about it. It might be because of the source of the light in terms of it being an LED as compared to an actual white light. I'm going to try this side, see if that gets us. No, we're still reaching about 970, which again is still very strong. And you can notice that as we go further back, well, this is a strong LED, the light level goes down. Okay, so that is how you work with the light sensor. A lot of cool things we can do by simply measuring the amount of light in our environment. So now I'm going to do the same thing with a temperature. So going to our website, let's see temperature. Where's temperature? All right, so we got two versions of temperature. We've got temperature F and then temperature. So temperature by itself gives us the temperature in Celsius, where temperature F, I think you could kind of imagine, gives us the temperature in Fahrenheit. So let's do the temperature in Fahrenheit. So let's go back to our circuit playground, and let's simply change light sensor to temperature F. And let's see what happens. So let's run it. I'll go ahead and bring up the serial monitor. And there we go. My room is currently about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to see if I can try to do this. I'm going to pull up the camera. I'm going to put my hand over it, see if maybe just the warmth of my hand is enough to kind of raise the temperature of the circuit playground. You can kind of slowly see it climbing a bit. Let's see if I get it to 76. All right, so we're at 76. It's still climbing. Usually in class, what I do to kind of demonstrate this and the ability for it to sense temperature is that I would put this underneath my armpit because then it's closest to my internal body temperature, which would raise it. But even as we're talking, you can kind of see that it's climbing up a couple degrees just by me holding it. So that's the temperature. Now I'm going to let it go. Let's see if it starts to kind of go down again. I usually find that getting it to cool off is a lot harder than getting it to warm up. As you can see, it actually looks like it's still climbing. But okay, so that's the temperature sensor. Let's go ahead and then try the last one, which is the sound sensor. So we're going to go back to here, to sound sensor. And we notice that similar to the light sensor, it returns a value from 0 to 1023, measuring the intensity of the sound in the room. It doesn't accept any parameters, so that's nice. And let's go here and let's try that. So let's say sound sensor. All right, so let's save this. Let's upload. And we'll bring our serial monitor in. You can see it's very low. I'm going to try to introduce some sound by maybe snapping my fingers. Let's see if that's loud enough to kind of register something. Hello? Hello? There we go. Okay. So, you know, it's tough. So you can kind of see you really can't see me snapping my fingers, but you can kind of hear them. By me snapping my fingers, you can see that it does spike in terms of the numbers. I don't know if we'll actually ever get to like the 1023. I imagine that's got to be a very loud sound. So that is, I'm going to go back to the presentation. And that is how we work with the light, temperature, and sound sensor. These are analog signals in that they don't return a 1 or a 0 like the button and the slide switch did. They return a range of values. And that's going to be important to understand once we go into decision making, what these values are and the ranges that we want to test for. Because we're not guaranteed a single value like the button, the left button, and the slide switch. All right, thank you.